has come to an end. All the regular season games are done. All the playoff spots have been decided. Now all that's left is for the playoffs to start. Of course, I'll have my prediction video out for the playoffs in about a few days here. For some reason, I got a lot of comments on my last couple of videos asking me to do playoff predictions. Like, of course I'm going to do playoff predictions. I don't know why so many people all of a sudden are asking that question. Okay. Well, Browns versus Ravens. I predicted Baltimore to win this game. And with Bailey Zappi starting at quarterback for the Browns, the Ravens destroyed them. Also Lamar Jackson. A little bit of thunder going on out there. Lamar Jackson was still playing this game, of course. The Ravens still trying to get that top spot in the AFC, I believe. You get a Wiggins pick 6 on Bailey Zappi. Then you got one of the best sorts of plays in the NFL, which is a big man interception on Bailey Zappi. Defensive lineman, he intercepts the ball, and then he kind of just goes down like he wasn't trying to be running any more than he already had at that point. But the Ravens win this game 35-10. The Ravens finished 12-5-0. They are the first seed in the AFC North. The Browns finished the season 3-14-0. They are the 4th seed in the AFC North. This game, Bailey Zappi goes 16 completions on 31 attempts, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Lamar Jackson, 16 completions for 32 attempts, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And I saw a crazy Lamar Jackson stat. Let me see if I can go find that right now. Hold on. Boom. Where is it? Oh man, I really can't find it now. Lamar Jackson, okay, so he is the first player in NFL history with 4,000 passing yards and 800 rushing yards in a season. He has 6,154 career rushing yards, which is the most by any quarterback in NFL history. But I could have sworn there was one more. I can't find it. I really can't find it. But, I think it's something because he only had 4 interceptions or something like that. But, Zay Flowers will miss next week. He has a sprain. But if the Baltimore Ravens win their first, if they win their matchup, then he'll be back for week 2 or game 2 for them. Okay, Bengals, Steelers. I predicted the Steelers to win here. I thought, at that point they had lost 3 in a row. The Bengals, I thought they were going to be desperate. They needed to win to stay alive in the playoffs. Then they needed a Jets win and a Chiefs win to actually make it in. But the Steelers could not take care of business. The Bengals took care of business in this game. So actually this is a red, not a green. That's my bad. And The Steelers have now lost 4 games in a row heading into the playoffs, which is not what you want. They really are behind the 8 ball at the moment. George Pickens had a terrible game, 1 reception for 0 yards. And I have a feeling that, given some of the off-the-field drama and some other issues, plus this performance and some other things, I have a feeling that he might not be on the team next season. I guess we'll have to take a look and, obviously over this off-season and see. But the Steelers really feel like they're kind of setting themselves up to be in the perfect position to get bounced earlier than I'm sure a lot of us expected them to, even a few weeks ago. The interesting thing will be, Russell Wilson has really struggled so hard. I know that they won't do this, but if the Steelers do get bounced early, if they get out in the first round, there's gonna be people saying, they should have made the switch and put in Justin Fields. And it'll be an interesting conversation. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Russell Wilson and the Steelers going forward, but the Bengals win this 19-17. They prolonged their playoff hopes for an extra day. Joe Burrow had 37 completions on 46 attempts. He threw for 277 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Russell Wilson had 17 completions on 31 attempts, 148 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Giants Eagles. Saquon Barkley did not end up playing this game. That was one of the things I talked about. He was only 100 yards off of the all-time record. Apparently there was a little bit of drama behind the scenes about that, but who knows? How true that is or not, you never know with the sports media reporting and rumor mill. Ultimately, I'm pretty confident it's nothing, and as the old saying goes, winning cures all wounds. The Eagles beat the Giants 20-13. Drew Lock did not have his revenge game. Oh wait, I actually picked the Giants here because I thought, with the Eagles resting everybody. I'm slipping. It's really late. I'm sorry. The Eagles get the win here, even though they're playing all their backups and such. Drew Lock did not carry on his strong performance from the previous game. He had 22 completions on 29 attempts, 138 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Tanner McKee had 27 completions on 41 attempts, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Here's another one I got wrong. I thought that the Packers would beat the Bears even with, again, resting of starters, etc., etc. The Bears have still been pretty hapless, especially because we're in Lambeau Field. But the Bears get the win here by 2 points, 24-22. Caleb Williams, 21 completions on 29 attempts, 148 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Malik Willis, 10 completions on 13 attempts, 136 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And he only got sacked 1 time here, so that's a pretty solid performance for him. And I'm happy at least that Caleb Williams, his rookie year, goes out on a high note, because there's been a lot of up and downs basically all year long, so for him to go out with the win is at least a positive. But it hurt me there. And here's another L that I took. I thought the Falcons would get the win. Michael Penix, his 3rd consecutive start now. His rookie season, a lot to prove going against the Carolina Panthers, who have not been great. I thought Penix would come out here, try to make a statement game to end the season. And in a way he did. The Panthers win this one 44-38, but Penix he has a rushing touchdown. He has 2 passing touchdowns, 312 yards, 2 completions, 38 attempts, only 1 pick. But Bryce Young has an even better game. a Lamar Jackson type of game from Bryce Young, which he just like kind of pulled up out of nowhere with that. So it's kind of funny in a sense, but yeah, definitely not good that I get a fourth loss in a row, but let's go with the Buccaneers finally saving me. And Mike Evans has had another 1,000 receiving yard season. I think his 5th straight, maybe his 6th straight. But the Buccaneers do win this game 27-19. Spencer Rattler 26 for 42, 240 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. Baker Mayfield 21 for 32, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. We're gonna quickly jump down now. Let's talk Seahawks Rams. I thought the Rams would beat us here. Realistically, I probably should have known that when the season doesn't matter anymore, that's when we'd play our best game of the year. I mean, of course, the backups are in, but Geno Smith puts in a solid performance to get us the 5-point win, 30-25. Also, I did not realize that Jimmy Garoppolo was the backup quarterback in Los Angeles. That was kind of a fun little surprise, but yeah, Geno Smith, 20 completions on 27 attempts, 223 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. Jimmy Garoppolo, 27 for 41, 334 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. And I mean, the nice thing about this is we didn't make our draft position any worse. I think we were locked into the 18th overall pick, regardless of whether we won or lost the game. But you know, the Seattle Seahawks become the first team in NFL history to get 10 wins and not go to the playoffs. So that's not the kind of record that you want to have. I'm at least happy that we have a winning record in the first season with McDonald as coach. Like, that's a positive. But to go 10-7-0, which is the exact same record as the Rams and not make the playoffs, is certainly frustrating. And of course, there's going to be points in the season you can look at. Like, obviously, don't lose to the New York Giants, especially when they still have Daniel Jones at quarterback. But overall, an extremely frustrating season as a Seahawks fan. Hopefully one that we can grow on and move on from. But like I said, I'm not buying into any hype next season. Like, I'm just going to expect the worst. If they make the playoffs, I'll start paying attention to the Seahawks then. But until then, like, I'm not buying into this team again next year. Especially if Geno isn't back. I thought the Lions would win the biggest matchup of the week. They did win it, but man, I was really kind of shocked at how bad Darnold performed in this matchup. You know, the division on the line. Like, this is this is definitely the biggest game of the season for the Minnesota Vikings. And Darnold just completely disappeared in this game. 18 completions on 41 attempts, 166 yards. Did not throw a touchdown. I mean, at least didn't throw a pick, but he was just a complete non-factor in this game. Meanwhile, Jared Goff, 27 completions on 33 attempts, 231 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions for Goff. Alright, let's bounce back up the list here a little bit. Bills versus Patriots. I thought that the Patriots would win this one, and they did. Josh Allen he came in, he played 1 snap to the handoff, then he came out of the game. The rest of the game, he had Mitchell Trubisky. And I see some New England Patriots fans a little bit upset about this win because thanks to them getting this win, they now no longer have the number one spot in the draft. If they would have lost this game, they would have been guaranteed the first overall pick. I think now they get the second overall pick. Now, of course, the players on the team, they don't want to lose, but that's a fan thing. But I think they are rightfully, in some essence, upset by that. The Patriots end up winning at 23-16. Trubisky, 15 completions on 21 attempts, 101 yards, a touchdown, no picks. Joe Milton, 22 for 29, 241 yards, starting to pick up, and I want to record this while the rain is not as bad as it will be. Let's talk about the game that sunk the Bengals' playoff chances, the Broncos versus the Chiefs. I thought the Broncos would win this one, and they absolutely blew out the Chiefs' backups here. Again, finding out that Carson Wentz was the backup in Kansas City was kind of funny. But they were on an absolute tear here, just an absolute clinic by the Broncos. Bo Nix is an extremely successful rookie season. To finish the year, he's gonna miss out on Rookie of the Year, just because of the early season issues and Jane Daniels being so good. But any other year, if Jane Daniels didn't exist, I feel like he would easily be a lock for Rookie of the Year here. And I have a good friend of mine who's a Broncos fan who was at this match, so I'm glad he at least got to see a win. 38-0, like I said. Carson Wentz, 10 completions on 17 attempts, 98 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Bo Nix, 26 completions on 29 attempts, 321 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It's kind of crazy to see how far Carson Wentz has fallen, I'm not gonna lie. Niners, Arizona. I took Arizona there. They blew out the 49ers. They were a 4.5 point favorite. They ended up winning this by 23 points. Just a bad ending to a bad season for the San Francisco 49ers. One with much, much higher expectations. Joshua Dobbs has 29 completions and 43 attempts, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Kyler Murray, 25 for 35, 242 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Dolphins, Jets. Funny enough, well, not funny enough, I guess frustratingly enough, if you're a Bengals fan, you needed the Jets to win and you needed the Chiefs to win. The Jets shockingly got the job done, even though I did not think they would. Even though Aaron Rodgers was kind of forcing it to Devontae Adams early, because it's likely that both of them will be off the team next season. It seemed like they were kind of just not caring, but then it kind of changed a bit, and then it seemed like he started to actually try at a certain point in the game. Jets end up winning it 32-20. Aaron Rodgers likely ends his New York Jets tenure, perhaps even his NFL career, with a win against the Miami Dolphins. Tyler Huntley, 25 completions and 41 attempts, 227 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 23 for 36, 274 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Chargers, Raiders, both teams played, I think, all their starters in this. I took the Chargers to win it, boom. And they did, 34-20, and again they're favored by 6.5 points. Justin Herbert, 28 for 36, 346 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Aiden O'Connell, he had 24 completions and 34 attempts, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Texans, Titans. I thought the Houston Texans would win this one. They did. They locked up the 1 seed in the AFC South, 23-14, and again they're 2.5 point favorites. They win it by 9. You have Davis Mills in AQB for the Texans. He has 12 completions and 22 attempts, 128 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Will Levis has 9 completions and 17 attempts, 175 yards, 1 touchdown. Levis does have 0 interceptions, but technically he fumbled the ball, which resulted in a pick 6. Personally, I think that sort of is an interception, so I'm going to give him a half an interception there, but really bad sophomore year overall for Will Levis. Jags, Colts. I took Jacksonville there. The one time I picked Jacksonville to win and they lose it 26-23, and in favor of the Colts. Mac Jones, 20 completions, 32 attempts, 225 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Joe Flacco, 23 completions on 40 attempts, 264 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 picks. And finally, the very, very last game I'll talk about here, Commanders vs. Cowboys. You have Marcus Mariota here playing for the Commanders. That's always good to see a Marcus Mariota game. But the Commanders do win it 23-19. Mariota 15 completions, 18 attempts, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Trey Lance for the Cowboys, 20 for 34, 244 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. So, quickly here, let's do the calculations. I'm going to talk about our matchups for the first round here. Okay, so there were 16 games this week. I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 correct. So I got 56%, so 9, 16 for 56%. This week, this might draw my average. I'm at 175 for 270 overall this season. And let's see my final score. Nope, still 65%. So this NFL regular season, out of all 270 games that were played, I guessed the correct outcome 175 times. And I was correct 65% of the time. That's not terrible. Can we get this over here real quick? Let's see if this will fit. Now I'm gonna be doing don't know why this isn't working. That's not gonna work. Hold on. Will this work better? Slightly. I'm gonna be doing my predictions in another video, as I said, but our wild card matchups, we have Buffalo versus Denver, Baltimore versus Pittsburgh, Houston versus the Chargers, the Eagles versus the Packers, the Buccaneers versus the Commanders, and the Rams versus the Vikings. And of course, the Lions and the Chiefs are your 2 away teams. So that ends the regular season. Thank you guys so very much for watching, both this week and all season long. I truly do appreciate the support, more than words can possibly say. Obviously, changes coming up later in this year, and next year or later this year, next season will look different than it did this season, but I think it'll still be really good, so thank you so much. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Till next time, guys.